We are so excited as a staff, as pastors, to gather together this Sunday, June 7th at 10 o'clock here at Walnut Ridge. It is going to be wonderful to have folks, you, here with us, worshiping together, and we so look forward to that opportunity to gather. And moving forward, there are going to be some things that we need to have in place because the CDC is asking that, the governor is asking that in large groups. So I hope that you understand why we've put into place some of the procedures that we've put into place. And now you have received it in an email. You're going to receive a hard copy of this from the mail. And I just wanted to reiterate a few things on this video so that as you walk in on Sunday morning, you'll understand and you'll know exactly how to proceed into the auditorium and to find seating. And so that we might be able to worship freely without worry and without concern. So if you have received your packet, on the front of that packet, first of all is a cover letter. Part of that cover letter is reiterated on the first page of the regathering, the phased regathering for the church. But I just want to reiterate those 6 points because I think they're important to us as we come and as we gather together, because things are going to be so different. And we're going to feel a little uncomfortable, we're going to feel a little unsettled. But I think if we follow these 6 points, I think God will just help us to be able to move forward, that this will be a great time of worship for us, that we're going to limit the distractions as much as we possibly can through the service. The first of those 6 points is that of prayer. And I know that you've been praying. I know that you've been praying for us. I know Pastor Aaron and I have felt that on Sunday mornings as we've had that opportunity to speak and to lead music in a empty auditorium, and so we thank you for those prayers. And if you would continue to pray for this coming Sunday as we have that opportunity to gather, pray that our hearts might be ready, that there might not be any distractions that would come, and that we could come and allow the Holy Spirit to do His work in our hearts and lives. Also pray for us as a leadership team, pastors, deacons, as we evaluate and as we look forward to moving from phase 1 to phase 2 and then eventually to phase 3. So we need your prayers, and we just thank you for the prayer that we have received throughout these weeks. And we are just anticipating this week again. I pray that we might come with selfless attitudes, the second point. Selfless attitudes, that we might be thinking of the whole instead of ourselves. Yes, it's going to be different. Yes, it's going to seem a little strange as we gather together. But if we are thinking of others first, some will come with masks, some won't. Some will distance, others may not as much as others, but we need to come selflessly. We need to come with great attitudes, and let's not judge one another. Let's come and let's just come with great joy. The next thing is humility. So we're praying, we have this selfless attitude, and I pray that we might come in an attitude of humility, that we are submitting ourselves, that we are just taking the various sides, various opinions, and we understand that probably everyone who walks in will have a varying opinion on how we should do things. But I pray that we might come in humility and that we might move to that fourth point, which is trust and submission. We're just trusting the leadership, and we're going to submit to the authorities over us. And that's the responsibility that we have. As a church, as we've put this together, we've sought to submit to the authorities that are over us, the CDC, the governor, and just some of the state regulations and even county regulations, so that we might fall in line, that we might just be able to move forward consistently. We don't want to run ahead. We don't want to lag behind, but we want to be in step with those who are in authority over us. And so we as a church are submitting to those authorities. We trust that our authorities know what's best and how best to proceed, and we want to feel those. We want to feel that heart as we move forward, and I hope that you also feel that heart. The next thing is patient endurance. Thank you for being with us for the 11 weeks that we were apart. It was amazing as we were putting that timeline together from March 17th all the way to June 7th. We never thought that that would be the case. But thank you for patiently enduring through that time. And now as we move forward, please be patient with us as we endure just a few more weeks before we're able to open up everything within the church. And the last thing is faithfulness. Please come and worship with us. If there's anything that would hinder you, whether it's sickness, whether it's concern, whatever it is, I know that it's there. And I know these first few weeks, those concerns are going to be very real. But I would pray that you would continue to be faithful in your giving, faithful in your praying, and then faithful in attendance as we gather together. So those are the 6 points. Look those over, read those over again. And I just pray that as we gather together Sunday morning, that this would be such a blessed time and such a rich experience for us, that we just leave this place rejoicing in what God has done for us. Well, let me just share a little bit about the process on Sunday, because there's going to be some procedural things that we hope that you understand as you walk into the building. Door A is going to be the only door that's open. That is our front door main entrance. And so you'll want to park accordingly. It's going to be a beautiful day on Sunday, so the walk may be nice before church, but those doors are going to be open at 9:30. The service will start at 10 o'clock. As you walk in that front door, there will be an usher there to hold the door open for you. You don't need to touch the door. The ushers will be masked. So as you walk in, if you're wearing a mask, that's your prerogative. If you don't wear a mask, be assured that those that will be greeting those who will be out in front will be masked also. So as you walk through the front door, we are asking you to make your way to the Welcome Center, because we want to use the center doors in the auditorium to bring people into the auditorium. As you walk to the Welcome Center, you'll find two things. Over to your right, there will be the table with all the communion elements. This first Sunday back, we want to celebrate communion. And it is the first Sunday of the month, and we want this to be a special time of remembering all that Christ has done for us. Deacons will be there at the table. If you would just take a moment, wash your hands. There'll be hand sanitizer there. And then if you could pick up the communion essentials, the communion elements there, enough for your family, and then move and make your way into the auditorium through the middle doors. Also, back on the Welcome Center, there'll be a box where you could drop your offering. We're not going to pass a plate, but there will be a place for you to drop your offering. As you enter into the auditorium, again, in the packet that came in the mail, the packet that you received, or the email that you received with the attachments, you'll see a seating chart. And we really thought about seating, but we want to make sure that we're social distancing as we come into the auditorium. And as you see on that chart, every other pew is available to sit in, starting with the first pew on the organ side, and then every other pew on the way back, and then organ side, middle section from the second pew back. If you would sit on the ends, that will give us the social distancing that we need, and the social distancing that I think, again, makes us feel comfortable as we have that opportunity to come and worship. Everything in the auditorium will be sanitized. Everything at the Welcome Center will be sanitized. The doors will be sanitized. You'll have very limited opportunity to touch anything because of just how we're proceeding forward. The restrooms, we would encourage you not to use the restrooms, but if you have to use the restrooms, it'll be one person at a time going in. After that person comes out, we will go ahead and sanitize the restroom after you leave. And if you have children, parents, please take your children to the restroom. If you come on Sunday morning and you have your children with you, we want you to come. We want you to bring your kids because we want them to be a part of our worship service also. Please have your kids with you. We don't want the children running around the building, and if you could just keep them close to you, that would be great also. As we end the service, the communion actually, let me back up to the communion. The elements are sealed in cups. The wafer and the juice are all in one contained unit. And so there was no contamination to those, so you could feel free to go ahead and partake of those elements also because nobody has touched those. As we dismiss, we are going to dismiss by row, and that'll just give us that opportunity to make our way out of the center doors again with as little contact, and I hate to say that, but with as little contact as possible. We want you to make your way through the Welcome Center, out the front doors again. If you'd like to congregate in the parking lot, feel free to congregate in the parking lot, greet friends. Again, we're asking about the social distancing, no shaking hands, no hugging, as much as all of us want to do that right now. But let's just, for these first couple weeks, just observe those things. If you have any questions, please call the church office. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what we're doing and why we're doing it. But we are so looking forward to gathering together on Sunday. So I hope this little video helps you as you think and pray about joining us on Sunday. We are just, again, we as staff, as pastors, are just so looking forward to seeing you here. So continue to pray, and we look forward to Sunday as we come as the church gathered here at Walnut Ridge Baptist Church.